Hey guys, welcome to the Pop and Chop podcast. We are here experiencing some technical difficulties. There goes. Uh, what we are going to do now is go into the show and get you guys caught up on what's been going on in the world of DC. Right now, we have some news that we have to go into. This has been a big week for DC, uh, to say the least. Um, First thing we have to talk about, I don't know if this would really come as a surprise, but the Wonder Woman sequel has been cut. There's no more Wonder Woman coming from Gal Gadot or Patty Jenkins. The film has been scrapped. And probably for good reason. Because that 1984 was
Yo,
pure garbage.
James Gunn probably took one look at that new script and was like, "Nah, that's a dub. I'm taking it."
Yeah, that got scrapped. Thank God, because I think they really looked at that and said, "Yeah, this last one, there's no need for another one Wonder Woman after this, Patty Jenkins. I'm sorry."
It's
So
crazy too because
I don't think a lot of people were waiting for that movie to come back.
when you think about how could you mess up some of the easiest characters to make movies for? Like Wonder Woman is like one of the easiest people that you can make anything about, and you mess that up. It's crazy. I'm not like a biggest fan of Gal Gadot, but I'm not gonna say she's the reason it failed either. She's not. There's a lot of things involved, but damn, they should put a little bit more work into Wonder Woman as they put into Batman, and you know,
I mean, from my understanding, uh, Patty Jenkins and Gal Gadot had a shared vision for that 1984.
oh, they had to share it together.
Yeah, like Gal Gadot had no problem with 1984.
Dang, she
So,
got down with it.
and they let Patty Jenkins have total carte blanche on that movie. So, now they see what she did with 1984, and they were like, okay, this isn't gonna be a good payoff.
It's not. What was gonna be the next title anyway? If they was gonna make it.
Oh no, they didn't even go into
Yeah, okay.
what the rumored plot was of that failed movie.
Yeah. So
So
with
I have no clue.
this is a little joke to say, but so if all like the missteps that have happened inside the DCEU, right? Like together, would you say that? And this movie's outside of that. Would you say that the Green Lantern movie is the worst movie they've ever made, or someone has taken spot?
Um, Listen, Wonder Woman 1984 to me was worse than Green Lantern.
Damn.
Yeah,
There we go.
because at least it was entertaining.
True. There was.
Like, at least it was entertaining. Like, Wonder Woman 1984, half the movie was just her. It wasn't even it was not anything engaging for like the first half of the movie.
Plus, the biggest thing for this is for any movie in general, your character has to have a goal. And there was no like really set goal for Wonder Woman at all. Like she got her boyfriend back, Captain, what's his name? I always forget his name.
Steve Trevor.
There we go. Captain Trevor, right? Got him back. She's having a good time. Randomly somewhere else, this Maximilian has power to make any wish she comes true. But I didn't feel like she was emotionally invested in anything that was going on besides Trevor. Like everything else didn't. Even with Cheetah, like it didn't matter. Like their relationship was hollow. Matter of fact, Cheetah was just like she was like an underling at the museum and whatever. They didn't have any like close dialogue. And when we think about like Cheetah and Wonder Woman's relationship in the comics, like their history goes back, like they know each other through and throughout. So for them to just scrub that whole relationship and just say, okay, Cheetah's the villain now. She wants to be a girl boss, um, pretty much. And then I gotta fight Wonder Woman, which is like it's weak. It's weak storytelling, and that's
Yeah,
why I was like, and to mess up with Cheetah at that, like that's Wonder Woman's like one of Wonder Woman's prime, like what do you call it, villains. Like
villains in her rogues gallery, and it's
like
not a big list either.
nope, nope.
And she made a point about that in one comment. She was like, "You see my rogues gallery? I don't got a lot of people."
Right?
She's like, "I kill my enemies."
That should tell you that, like, either like she has a soft spot for Cheetah, or Cheetah just really good at getting away. So,
Yeah, it wasn't the best. So anyway, Wonder Woman 3 has been scrapped. Thank God we didn't need another failed DC project. James Gunn shot that shit down. Thank you, James Gunn. All right, the next movie that I wasn't even aware was in development. There was a planned Batman Beyond movie, apparently.
For real?
For real. Michael Keaton was supposed to play Batman
Okay.
again in the future.
As an old man. Okay, cool.
Yeah, for a Batman Beyond project.
That would have been a breath of fresh air, but I understand with the way it was going, they would have messed that up too. Like it wouldn't like I don't know how they would do it, but they'll mess it up. They'll mess it up Batman Beyond. And then everyone will start hating Batman Beyond forever. Like no one will remember the cartoons after that. It would just be like, we hate this dude. So I'm glad that they that guy. Wow, I didn't even know that was in the talks. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, man. So that I mean, and then the way they tried to hype it up after, I'm like, man, DC is such a mixed bag. That probably would have been a 50-50 type of situation anyway. We don't know if it would have came out good or bad. We really don't.
You don't know. You never know. You just never know. Like at this point, Warner Brothers shouldn't even give any guarantees. If I was smart, I would give no guarantees. I was gonna say, we was on set. Let me see. All right, we was on set, and we was having fun. We made a good movie. Hope y'all enjoy it. Like I wouldn't say it's I wouldn't say it's the best movie. I wouldn't say I'll just be like, we made a movie, guys. Let's see what y'all think about it.
That's apparently the only thing you need to do at DC is just have a movie ready to go, and they'll greenlight it.
Yep.
I mean, this is the same studio that greenlit a goddamn Wonder Twins movie. Like, how the hell did that pitch go?
Question: was that something that was greenlit after the second Suicide Squad came out, or before?
You say what?
Was that was that project greenlit after the second Suicide Squad came out, or before?
You know what? I'm gonna say it was definitely after the Suicide Squad.
See,
because Zaslav, the new CEO of DC Discovery, Warner Brothers Discovery, he was the one. He is the man that cut down the Batgirls movie.
Yeah, he did. And you know what? I understand why he probably greenlit the Wonder Twins, because he was like, "Yo, James Gunn was able to make this random collection of super."
No. Zaslav shut it down. Walter Hamada was the one that greenlit Wonder Twins.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, Zaslav did not. He's the one that cut that shit off.
He was like, y'all enjoyed all these random super villains. Maybe we could just
no.
And when I tell you, like, a lot of the people on the Suicide Squad, like, I had to look up, bro. The second one, not the first one. I had to really
hell yeah.
Like, I was like, first, especially the Rat Girl. I was like,
yeah, Rat Catcher. Yeah. See, that's the beauty of James Gunn's storytelling and filmmaking, man. He can make characters who you don't even know and make them household brands. Guardians of the Galaxy was a nothing brand.
We would have never had Guardians of the Galaxy the game if he didn't make those movies.
No, if the movie didn't come out, there would definitely not have been a game. Period. So he made that a household name. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with the new Suicide Squad. Now, box office wise, it didn't really do that good because of COVID.
It's COVID. So I understand.
That movie needed a movie.
But it did get a good what do you call it? Amount of streams though. Like their stream numbers were high. So
and the rating was it still holds a very high score on Rotten Tomatoes. So it's a good movie. I loved it a whole lot better than the first Suicide Squad. Because that movie had some big issues. Anyway,
true.
We had a Michael Keaton project, y'all. They said they was going to give us a Batman Beyond movie. I don't buy that. It was whatever they had planned for it. It probably was best that it just got shot down. So Batman Beyond is done. And then let's go into the biggest news, guys. Henry Mother freaking Cavill. The man, the myth, the legend.
He's out.
He was heavily campaigned for by Dwayne Johnson. They share the same manager. His ex-wife, Dwayne Johnson's ex-wife, is the manager of Henry Cavill. And he always has been an avid campaigner for the return of Henry Cavill as Superman and for this fight between Black Adam and Superman. Well, I believe it was in November when they told him, make the announcement that you're back as Superman. We all cheered. We applauded. We said, DC, you're not so bad.
We've been waiting for Man of Steel 2 since Man of Steel 1.
You're not dumb chumps after all, DC. So, after that, apparently, 1 month later, after the arrival or the new installation of James Gunn and Peter Safron as the head of DC Studio Films, they had a meeting with our beloved Superman, and they told him, we're going in a different direction. And you're fired. You're no longer Superman.
We're gonna let you go, my boy. We love you, but you gotta go.
Yeah. And then this rumor that they were trying to get him for another project to keep him on board to kind of save face.
What do you mean? Like another DC project?
Yeah, within the new DCU that they're creating. Because apparently James Gunn wants to do another Superman that's younger and focus on
like in
God
his 20s?
Knows what.
Like in his 20s or
Smallville Superman? We've already seen that before, James Gunn. Like, come on now.
I mean, with Smallville, we did see that, yeah.
We saw that with Smallville. We saw that a million times. We don't need to know what happens in Metropolis, what happens with him being a reporter and his first days in small Metropolis. We don't care about that guy. There's more of younger Superman than there is of an older Superman. And I think that a older Superman with kids, with John Kent, with Lois and the family, that's a lot more interesting in an area that we haven't seen covered than what I think James Gunn is trying to do with this.
You know what? I understand that. I really do. But he's like, we're going to start from the genesis of the universe and go forward. So he's like kind of like has like, yo, no relationships, no nothing. We're going back to the roots and we're going to go forward. Of course, me and you have seen it like plenty of times, right? Of course.
And the reason they're doing that is because, once again, they're trying to go back to the Marvel blueprint. David Zaslav.
And the thing about it is they was thinking about doing that for years and he just never implemented it.
They tried to fit it all into the Batman versus Superman. That was the start of the end of DC.
That was the start and end. And I remember leaving. First of all, I was I wasn't okay. Let me not lie. I was hyped when Batman versus Superman, the first trailer came out. I was like, oh, we look like we're getting a three-way fight between Wonder Woman, Superman, and Batman. I'm here for it. Ideology. They. Usually when the big three fight, they just fighting because they have like different understandings of the same problem that they're trying to fix, right? And then I was like, okay, I love it. I'm down with it. Cool. And then I think the second or third, or even the last trailer that came out, and I saw Doomsday pop out, and like my expectations lowered. As soon as I saw Doomsday, I was just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm like,
So
where the hell are we going with
because as
this?
soon as you see Doomsday, that means Superman's gonna die, like automatically, like
I knew it wasn't going nowhere when I saw that, or should I say, I was concerned when I saw the amount of cameos they were throwing in there. Because it was like Flash is going to make a cameo, Cyborg is making a cameo, Aquaman's making a cameo. Because I saw all these cast listings, it was like Ray Fisher, Cyborg, Jason Momoa, Aquaman, Ezra Miller, Flash, Wonder Woman. I was like, okay, what are you doing?
And they tried to all center it around like, first of all, why would Batman be going out to find these people? Batman, no, that's like.
And let's get one thing straight. This was not Zack Snyder's fault. This was DC. This was Warner Brothers' fault. Yeah. Warner Brothers, the executives, came to Zack Snyder and said they wanted a universe like Marvel, but they didn't give him enough time to set it up. They wanted him to put everybody into the Batman versus Superman movie to tease Justice League.
And it's funny though, they literally like tried to fit 10 years of work into 3 years. 3 or 4. Yeah. It's like
the next movie after Batman versus Superman was Suicide Squad, which didn't do anything to establish the Justice League, except for tease Ezra Miller as Flash. That was it. Yeah. And then after that, I believe it was immediately after that, it was Justice League.
Yep.
So you only gave them one movie in between to kind of throw in some, some ridiculous
end of the world that they got
attempt to bring this team together. And if you just look at the movie, it really doesn't. There's no way you can see this team coming together except for on paper. Yeah, they're literally just thrown in together, and there's no sense of teamwork at all.
No synergy, no nothing.
There's no synergy. It's just like
I was like, damn, Batman, put me on the team. I'll be there. Might as well put awesome.
It just didn't work. So this all goes back to the failed. Once again, studio interference, which Warner Brothers was known for heavily.
Oh, for years, though.
For years. Studio interference of Warner Brothers jeopardized their projects and any hopes that they had of a shared DC film universe. So I'm glad that David Zaslav has made the tough choices and has now put James Gunn and Peter Safron in charge of a new DC universe. They are cleaning house, guys. Yeah. You have not noticed they are cleaning house.
Well, let's go down the list.
One more.
Go ahead. I'm going to say, like, Jason Momoa, he's going. I see it happening, bro.
Yeah, nobody's coming back after this, guys.
Nobody's coming back.
So let's talk about what is now on the list. The Batman. From what we've heard, the Batman is safe
and separate.
They've already signed their contracts. Robert Pattinson as Batman is still good, at least for Batman 2. Because I don't know, because James Gunn, there was a report that went out that said that they were looking at how to put Robert Pattinson in the shared DC universe. And then he said that is not true.
He was like, who made that up?
Yeah, he literally said that is not true. So we don't know how long Robert Pattinson has to be Batman. We know at least he's going to get a Batman 2. And of course, the Penguin is going to get his HBO Max series still, according to what they said.
You sure?
Yes.
They ain't going to cut that too? Like out of nowhere?
Kyujo, I have no idea. We have no clue. We'll get to the state of affairs a little later in terms of the future of where I see this potentially going haywire. The Joker too.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of. Listen, you can make a director can make a great movie.
Yeah. Period.
With the character, because if it wasn't the Joker, if it was just a movie about a man who likes to dress up as a clown,
it would have still been good.
It would have still been good. It didn't need the Joker or the DC property to do that. To be good, because it's a great movie from what I've heard from everybody. But me personally, I don't. That's not my Joker.
Yeah, when I tell you, like, I got so much heat for not seeing that movie, bro. Like, people like, did you see? I was like, no. I was like, first of all, to me personally, the Joker means nothing without Batman. That's one. Two. His
that's that Sony shit.
Yeah, his backstory isn't. It doesn't.
It doesn't do anything for me,
like,
man.
I know it's supposed to be like a piece on society, but I'm just like, you could have did that.
It doesn't do anything for me. I never watched it. I just I prefer my Jokers to be with my Batmans. That's the way that it should go.
That's how it should be.
When you do spinoffs and all this shit, and you make these characters stand alone, I feel like you're just. You can make a great movie without that. I feel like, what? Case in point, James Gunn, Brightburn.
Yeah.
Now, he basically did a Superman story. What if he was evil instead of good? Right?
As a kid.
Now, he didn't need to follow that template where he's like, well, we're gonna make a evil Superman movie and use the DC property to do this. No, just make another movie about it. They could have done the same thing. I don't like it when studios do that. I just feel like you're just milking a license, an IP to get people to come in. Like, because if it was just a regular movie,
you may not get all the
movie. If you just made a movie called Clown, it would have still got good reviews. People would have still saw it, but you wouldn't have had the same box office draw as you would, because
it wouldn't have been close to $1 billion.
Right. So, vis-a-vis, I'm not going to crap on someone else's thing. I'm just saying, guys, that's not for me. So they are making a sequel to that, and Lady Gaga is Harley Quinn, apparently.
Okay, cool. Nah, I want the cackle, bro.
Whether you like it or not, Joker is still on the table. Now, will there be a Joker 3? In my opinion, I think that's unlikely. I think that's unlikely. I don't think that James Gunn's vision for DC films there's not going to be a lot of free-flowing spin-offs and one-offs.
I thought that
standalone.
The Batman and the Joker are like separate projects from anything James Gunn's about. Like, he has no control over what those projects do.
I mean, they've already been in development. Contracts have already been signed. Filming has already taken place. So there's not much you can do on something that's been done or is in production already.
Right, that's true.
At least not for those two movies, because people really love those movies. So they're looking at two things. They're looking at the future vision, and they're also looking at box office hits.
Yeah.
So, they still got to make their money in the interim, because, and that's what we'll go into now. After 2023, there are no more projects.
Yeah.
Release dates for anything else.
I don't know if you know, though, but also their Warner Brothers / Discovery now is in debt. Like, so they're like not making a profit as they should. Also, HBO Max still hasn't made a profit. They said they won't see any profits till like 2026 or something like that.
Yeah.
So
that's why a lot of shows are being taken off of HBO Max.
Yeah, not only canceled, but taken off. Like, wait a minute, original HBO shows, like
Max, right? Exactly.
And they're selling them. To be able on other platforms, and I was like, wow.
To be able to, they're in the shitter for real. Yeah, they're in a big hole. And, that moves us to the next topic. Now they're dependent on 4 movies to make some of this money back up. The first movie is Shazam 2.
Which I'm pretty sure is going to bring out a bunch of
Now
people.
that's in March. How much do you think Shazam 2
I'm
is going to do?
I'm gonna say box office wise, it'll make roughly a little bit over 700 mil. I don't
700 million
I
total
don't
box office cap?
I don't think it's gonna hit a billion. That's for sure.
But
It's
you
not.
say 700 million.
How much did Wakanda Forever make? I'm about to say.
Ooh, let's look at the box office here.
Because I know like we're still like even the theaters are still recovering from COVID, so everyone's still recovering. So
All right, box office total to date. Hold on. Okay, worldwide box office 772 million.
okay. You know what? I'm lowering my expectations because there's no way in hell Shazam is gonna get above Wakanda Forever. So let's say
So that's now that's domestic and international combined. So that's worldwide box office. It hasn't reached a billion just yet.
Okay. So I'm gonna say
Yeah, you're gonna have to lower them expectations because there's no way as hell they're gonna rival Wakanda.
Yeah, there's no way. There's no way. I would say maybe 400, 500 mil, maybe. Let's say the movie costs what 200 million to make. I'm assuming they'll make about a double in a piece off.
Okay, let's look at what Shazam 1 made. Shazam 1 made 366.1 million.
How much was the budget?
Budget was 100 million.
Okay, so it made like
200 roughly.
Yeah. That's nice. It's nothing crazy to go home about, but it's nice.
Shazam 2 budget. Shazam 2 is 125.
Okay.
So you got 25 million more put into it.
Okay, so if we're going off of what happened the first time, maybe they hit 400 million. Maybe.
But are we really?
And that's the only reason I'm saying that is because Shazam got a lot. People really liked.
Now this was pre-COVID.
Yeah, this is pre-COVID.
Now this is where it gets kind of bleak. This is pre-COVID. Shazam 1 was pre-COVID.
That's true.
Shazam after Shazam now Shazam 2 is post David Zaslav, post everything that's going on with all the cancellations of DC, post all these actors that are not coming back. So DC doesn't have the same amount of fandom behind it right now.
That's true.
The fandom has gone down. If this was a stock in DC stock is down.
That's true.
So, where it's going to end up, we don't know. Now, that brings me to another topic. Black Adam. Black Adam. The DC hierarchy of power is about to change. That's what he promised.
No.
Little did he know it was going to change, just more so in real life.
Right? The hierarchy of power is changing.
Now, let's go to. Now, this will affect Shazam 2 as well. Shazam.
Yes, it will.
Now, it is rumored. It is rumored. Dwayne Johnson, well, not even rumored. This is actual fact. Dwayne Johnson did not want to be a part of Shazam 1.
Okay.
He did not want his origin in Shazam 1.
Okay. Fair.
He wanted his own movie.
Okay.
Now, Shazam 1
advocating for the last.
Now, Shazam 1 comes along. It teases Black Adam. Okay.
We did. Mm-hmm.
Now, the rumor goes like this now. And there seems to be some validity to it. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson does not like Shazam.
Why not?
We don't know.
Like he's just like F that.
Not the actor.
No,
But
you the actual
maybe
story. Like he doesn't like anything
he
about that
doesn't.
character.
I don't know
Wow.
what. I mean, you're a villain of Shazam.
Did
Period.
did like
You're
a
a villain of him. You can't like you be like, I don't like. That's like the Joker actor saying, I don't like the character of Batman.
like
It's like you have to fight him. You have to.
and to be honest, even if you don't like the character, you don't like him because he's not like a good character, or you don't like him because of what he stands for. Like if that's the case, then all right, cool, whatever.
Now
But
it was rumored that he was offered a cameo in Shazam 2, and he turned it down.
wow. And this is
So
after his movie's already been out.
so this is a big problem because you have to be a team player.
Absolutely. Especially
You can't. And then so far, every question at Raw around when is Shazam going to fight Black Adam, he has been very lukewarm and very standoffish about answering these questions.
Do you think that was on purpose because they didn't want to say anything about it happening?
No,
Like,
I don't know, because he's more pushing Black Adam and Superman fighting than him and Shazam fighting.
Yeah. Which
Now,
is
this is a problem when you're, I don't want to say ego, but your portfolio, your career, your film characters, your legacy. When you're looking at that to the detriment of the bigger, wider universe that you are playing in, now this becomes a problem.
Yeah.
Because now you're being difficult because you feel like your stardom, you shouldn't be allowed to be in any sort of second seat or second fiddle to anybody else.
Yeah.
So you want to make Black Adam a household name that can rival Shazam. That's what he's saying.
But the thing is, to be honest, lore-wise and everything, it's already set up that Black Adam is a rival for Shazam. Now, are you the hero? No, you're not the hero. Okay, like you're just gonna have to get over that.
That's what he wants to be. He wants to be the anti-hero of DC. He wants his own line of whatever, his own. He doesn't want to be he does not want to be a Shazam villain.
I see. So he wants to be a star in and of himself, but not
exactly. Exactly.
Wow, that's yo. You know what to say? That's like Robert Downey Jr. being like, I don't want to be connected to none of these Avengers.
Right. Right. and the only one that could probably pull that shit off would be Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, exactly. Because he's the biggest star there.
Right. So, but you see, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Because you gotta play ball with your other DC characters.
Yeah.
You gotta be able. See, he's pumping this, and it is an ego thing. Because if you only want to, if the only fight that you're teasing and pushing for the fans is Black Adam and Superman, see, you want to take on Superman because you want to be the face of DC films. You want to be the big personality, the big figure behind DC films.
Yeah. And you know,
I'm sorry, but that's not going to happen.
The sad part about it is that's like, if you, to be honest, when you play a good role and you do a good performance, it will show in and of itself, period. People will always talk about you. You know what I mean? Yes, like, you know, Iron Man was the face of the MCU, but none of the other characters dulled in comparison. Everyone,
none of them were invalidated.
No one was invalidated. So like he
fears invalidation so much that he has not teased any sort of contact with Shazam. When is he going to fight the Shazam fan? I mean, it's very standoffish from a creative perspective.
Yeah.
Because now you're being difficult.
It almost makes
and the reason why it took so long to make Black Adam, and we see that that it was not worth the wait. But the reason it took so long was because of what the vision that Dwayne Johnson had for himself as Black Adam.
Yeah, he
did not want to come in to be a partner in the DC universe. He wanted to come in and steal the show.
Yeah. And, you know, it's funny because like it makes me think about the beef. Well, they're not beef no more, but the professional problems that him and Vin Diesel had. It's like
Yes,
how much of that was Vin Diesel's fault? I really want
exactly.
to.
Exactly. Because that's that's another point. Because in the Fast and Furious, he didn't want to play second fiddle to Vin Diesel.
Yeah. He didn't want
It's
to
like,
lose.
dude, you're a new character that we're bringing
Yeah.
on, and now you get your own spinoff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How are you the first person to get your own spinoff, dude?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So you got a lot of ego,
Yeah.
you know, to already have your and that movie Hobbs and Shaw was not good.
Oh, absolutely not.
It was not good.
I
I'm
watched.
sorry.
It was so bad. But it was funny to me. Like I was just like, you know what? I'm watching this. Like when I saw the trailer, I knew I was getting into it. I was like, oh, this is gonna be a joke show. I'm just gonna be kiki and ha 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 and like
Right.
I'm not here, I'm here to see, Idris Elba, be goofy, pretty much. Of course, Idris Elba's gonna do Idris Elba does. But
Yeah, it just
I
was
knew.
not.
Yeah.
It wasn't a good. It just wasn't a good film from
Yeah.
a. I didn't like it action wise. I didn't like it story wise.
Yeah.
I just thought that I
I
mean,
was
it
even
made
tired
its
of the
money.
answer
They
too.
already greenlit a sequel for it, but we haven't heard shit about it. So I'm starting to feel like that's about to be in jeopardy. So Dwayne is not having a good year, guys. So anyway, back to Black Adam. So
also, is he being cut? We don't know yet.
Oh, so that let's get into it. So
All right, that's it.
Black Adam is said to need $50 to $100 million to break even. It did not do as
Just to be even.
To break even.
That means like, oh, like we're not beneath what we put in. Just like not even a profit, just here.
Yeah, that's just to break even. Now, Dwayne Johnson has apparently leaked reports or has shown some type of data to say that no, we actually are making a profit.
I did see that. I saw that.
So we don't really know what that will be. However, I can tell you one thing. Black Adam's 2 car rested in the hands of the success of that movie and in the fact of the hope of Black Adam fighting Superman.
Yep.
That was his only card that he could play.
Mm-hmm.
Now that Superman's out, Black Adam is not looking likely at all.
Yeah. Because if you really think about it, right? Let's say hypothetically they had a Black Adam 2 like situated, right? And let's erase Superman out of that because he's gone. Erase him out, right? Now you're gonna have to replace him with who? Not Shazam, because you don't want Shazam in your movie, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
And no one has time for another CGI generated demon.
Exactly. Exactly. See, now you're running into a big problem. Because here's the thing, man. If he would have done some type of if there was the tease at the end of Shazam should have been Black Adam coming.
Yes.
Because that would have sold him more. The threat of Black Adam coming
perfect,
back.
like, because we know he was buried in a tomb, right? As soon as like the cutscene would have been the tomb cracking. Like,
right.
That would have been, we would have been like, oh snap, he's coming.
Right.
That's what we know.
Then you get the Black Adam movie, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Introduces him, so on and so forth. Now, Black Adam or Shazam, his family has this threat. Okay, Shazam 2 cannot have Black Adam. Shazam 2 should have had Black Adam at least make an appearance.
At least.
But when you turn down the cameo, now you're not even establishing any type of connectivity to the person who bore you.
Yeah.
Like there would not have been a Black Adam for Shazam. Like you have to show respect to the hero that you are the antithesis of.
Yeah.
Because the only reason he comes back is because, oh, you have another champion now.
Yeah, that's literally what it is.
So, he gets whatever origin story you get or whatever, they have to fight one another. They have to, they're both champions, their powers come from the same source. They have to meet each other. They have to have a fight.
That is the fight that everyone has always wanted to see. When Shazam's biggest villain or anti-hero or whatever, it's always been Black Adam. Yeah, there's other villains he's fought and stuff like that, but
they're nowhere near as known as Black Adam.
Black Adam is the hugest.
I had to literally look up Shazam villains.
Yeah, I had to. Yeah, because I don't really
And I have to tell you, the list ain't that long or notable.
Nope, it's not. So I don't understand why you wouldn't want to fight someone that is. It's funny though, because Shazam is called the mightiest mortal. Why would you not want to fight possibly the second strongest man on the planet, who is Shazam? Shoot, even Superman don't really be rocking with Shazam like that,
magic is Superman's weakness.
Yeah, and Shazam got magic and super strength, so we're just like, damn, he's really just hitting me.
So anyway, we have to. That's a big. Anyway, so we know Black Adam 2 is right now. It's not looking too good for the return of Black Adam.
It's definitely on the fence.
So let's move on to Flash 2.
Flash 2.
Not Flash 2 is in a sequel, but Flash.
I was about to be like,
the Flash is not getting a sequel, guys.
I was like, they really going for it, huh?
No, Flash is not getting a sequel. It has also been reported that the Henry Cavill it's been reported. Now, Flash was supposed to have Ben Affleck in there as well as Michael Keaton.
Yes.
It has been reported that there was a cameo filmed by Henry Cavill.
Okay.
And that cameo has now been taken out. It has been removed. I also heard that there was also a cameo by Jason Momoa that has been taken out as well.
Okay.
So
is the plan because I remember the original plan, this is before the merger and everything. The original plan was for the Flash movie to restart the DCEU.
Correct.
And form a different Justice League without Batman and Superman in it or something like that. Like it was going to be Shazam in it, I think Aquaman, and then like Supergirl or something. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, there was a plan for a group of men and women to come together and fight the battles that DC wanted them to fight. A group of remarkable actors to stay on point. So anyway, so yes, Flash, Ezra Miller has conceded. He has tapped out. He has stopped doing for the foreseeable time a lot of dumb shit. He's made his apologies. He's gone into his rehab. He's done reshoots. I'm sure they have let him know this is your last movie with us.
Right? I'm about to say, just so you know, this is
they have let him know you are not going to be coming back as the Flash.
Thank you for the time. It was nice working.
You're done.
You're done.
So yeah, because from what the talk about the Flash movie is that it's really good.
Yeah, that's what people say. Like,
that really has been the talk. That all the screeners they've heard that this movie is awesome-tacular. Okay. Cool. You're going to need all of that good press on your side, DC.
Yep.
Because these next 4 movies are going to be pivotal in terms of getting them checks in the bank for you for the next projects you got after this year.
Yeah.
Because, Now, Blue Beetle.
They scrapped it, right?
No. Blue Beetle is still on track.
Oh, probably what's good about that is like they haven't probably even started shooting that yet.
No, they filmed it. They started filming
They
it.
started filming it?
Mm-hmm.
Who's the director for it?
Let me pull that up.
Because I was like, if it's still in the writing stage, maybe James Gunn could hop in there real quick.
No, it is produced by the head of DC. Well, one of them, Peter Safron, is the producer.
Okay. All right, cool.
Angel Manuel Soto is the director. I don't know who he is.
My man from Cobra Kai. Oh wait, no, what's the actor's name?
It is he is from Cobra Kai. Zolo Manduena. I hope I'm saying that right. Angel Manuel Soto. He is a film director and producer and screenwriter. He is not known for anything. He hasn't had any type of films that you would know.
Okay, I mean that's good. I like fresh blood. He is
fresh blood.
That's good. I don't need them to get another Matt Reeves or you don't got to get the big guys. It's fine.
All right. Yeah, they need to save all the money that they can.
Yep. I would say.
Now I have no idea who this villain is. That's going to be fighting him. The filming for the movie has wrapped in July 18th.
Oh, okay.
So we should be seeing some trailers for that soon.
Like in January, maybe.
I don't know. I mean, hell, we've only had one trailer for damn Flash, and that shit was that was a year ago.
Wait, that was a trailer? I thought we just. I thought that was. They just show like 10 seconds of each clip of each movie.
No. That teaser. There is a teaser trailer for Flash that was shown on DC Fandom.
Oh, okay.
It was a teaser trailer. We haven't gotten a new trailer in a year.
Okay.
So, yeah, they got to get to working on their campaign for Flash if they want this movie to be a success.
That's 2 movies. Okay, well, 3 movies. That's Shazam, Flash, Blue Beetle.
Now, the final movie that should have came out this damn year was Aquaman 2. Which, if you would have asked me 10 years ago if I would be excited for an Aquaman movie,
I would have been hell no.
Exactly. But James Wan is the man with the plan.
Yep.
And he made Aquaman a household name.
He made him cool.
He made him cool as hell.
Yo, okay.
I mean, you talking about a movie, a movie that has so many damn action scenes and so much. I mean, James Wan literally put all he had into that movie.
And he fleshed out. That story was so fleshed out. Every side quest, every side relationship was thoroughly talked about. Like everything. I mean, right down to Black Manta and everything.
Yeah. I mean, here's a man who put in. I really think he thought to himself, "Look, I might not get the way DC is.
This may be my only superhero movie.
I'm only get one shot at this. This may be my last DC movie." So he put all he had to it, and then they did a very smart thing and let him get a second movie.
Mm-hmm.
Now Aquaman is coming at the end of next year, December 2023. So we got a whole year for Aquaman 2.
That's crazy.
I know.
So, and it's funny though. There's no the movie is completely done. They're not reshooting. They're not touching stuff up. They just have it sitting on a file. On the
now, listen. The movie's budget, Aquaman's 2 budget. Oh, I just saw Aquaman 2 has a reshoot. They are doing reshoots.
Jesus.
Yeah. The initial budget was $200 million.
Okay. All right, that's up
there. $200 million.
That's definitely up there. Okay.
It is, because now that I feel is due to the reshoots. It has expanded to $200 million. So that is what we have going on for Aquaman 2. Now, this movie, how much do you think this is going to pull in? Because it's going to have to pull in minimum 300 just to make a profit.
Just to make a profit, right? Well, let's put it this way. I think, and no one ever expected it, Aquaman 1 is one of the only DC movies that broke over $1 billion. So that's wild. Did Batman vs Superman make it over $1 billion? Did it? I don't know.
Let's put it into the good old Google machine.
Good old Google. Nope.
Hey Google, help.
It said 872 million. So it didn't even reach $1 billion. But
Didn't reach $1 billion.
Aquaman.
Exactly. Aquaman made $1.148 billion.
Like over Batman and Superman, that's an accomplishment. And shout out to Mr. Wan, because
James Wan.
James Wan, he did that.
Yeah. For sure. For sure. Special effect.
Yeah.
Everything.
And that movie came out after Justice League too. So people were already disappointed. You know what I mean? People were still went out to go see that.
Exactly. And I feel like going back to budgeting and marketing, you see, Black Adam had 2 trailers. And neither of those trailers got me excited for that movie.
No.
You had no idea what the plot of the movie was. It just seemed like a bunch of
superpower people fighting.
Yeah, just a bunch of pop moments. Like, okay, this looks cool, but we don't get no sense of what this story is about.
Nothing.
Or really who this character is, or what he's trying to accomplish,
or who these other people are he's fighting.
Exactly.
And
I didn't even know it was Intergang until I heard it was Intergang.
Okay, but the trailer didn't tell you.
The trailer didn't tell me that though. And
it was.
And there was a lack of a real villain in the movie.
Oh my! Like I always say, DC knows how to put the computer generated.
That's another CGI monster at the end of the movie.
Just like Ares,
with very weird stakes too. Because even when he showed up, you still didn't have any idea what the hell he was doing.
Yeah, what he does, did you want to make hell come to Earth? Did you want to
what is the purpose of you getting this crown and taking control?
The villain for Shazam 1 had more purpose than that man.
Oh, yeah.
That was an amazing villain.
There was a lot more gravitas to his character.
And and that's the part that I didn't like. There we go, about Black Adam. The villain was hidden the entire movie until near the very end, where he's like, "Oh, I'm the great."
Right.
I'm just like, really.
And at that point, you didn't care about.
I didn't. I really didn't. He fought the Justice Society like 1,000 times in that movie, over and over.
Exactly. That was another thing. It's like, okay, Dwayne Johnson is so OP in the movie that there's no real sense of danger.
No real sense of danger. And that's one thing that, and I get they was trying to maybe him, he's like, yo, I'm gonna show y'all how big and bad Black Adam is. He ain't standing on nobody. But I was like, yo, even Superman and Man of Steel was getting tapped up by the Kryptonians. What I mean? Like, he was fighting for his life in that thing.
Yes.
So it's like, you have to, if we want to,
they have one MacGuffin in that movie that could hurt him, and they completely abandoned the shit in the beginning of the movie.
Oh yeah, remember? The thing, yeah. The
what was the name of that?
Yttrium.
What's it called?
It was Yttrium, the stone, the metal, the thing.
Eternium,
right? And I'm just like, okay, so we know he can get hurt. They showed it to us, and it was like, all right, that's done.
They abandoned it. They never shot him with another Eternium blast again.
The Intergang never hit him again with one, nothing. I was just like, all right.
Because I'm like, y'all got all these weapons, and y'all only got you only got one weapon that shoots Eternium out. That what sense does that make?
And on top of that, Hawkman is just swinging at him, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. It was just a lot that was
Yeah,
that it had going against it than
it
for
did.
it.
It did.
A lot that
And
had
it was
that
sad because I
DC
was.
fan have more hope.
Mm,
Oh, thank you, Derpy. I have more hope in James Gunn than when Snyder was ever in charge. Yes, I agree.
right?
James Gunn is definitely it's DC is in better hands with James Gunn. I definitely
Absolutely,
agree.
without a doubt, without a doubt.
Yeah. So, what was I about to say? So now we're into let's talk about DC's animation, Rock Q Joe.
Oh, so we're gonna talk about some better things, maybe.
Okay, so before we move on to animation, let's talk about this. The reason why the future of DC films looks very bleak is because the confidence of DC's film community is not very high in DC.
Mm,
If you're an actor or a director and DC asks you to make a movie for them, unless you are a starving director, or a
you're gonna turn
starving
it down.
actor,
Yeah,
I don't see a lot of big name directors and actors going into DC films looking to collaborate with them because of what they have done so far with their projects, with their
yeah.
actors, with their directors.
They're seeing it live hand. Like imagine, like you're chilling doing your movie, and then you look into your left, and you're seeing like a whole studio up in flames, and they're like, "Yo, you trying to get a little bit of money over here?" I'm like, "No, I'm not retiring, so I have to think about my career. I have to think about other movies I want to do. If I do this, what if another studio is like, we don't want to do that, or director's like, that's not the guy we want."
Mhm,
Like, no,
mhm.
it could be a what do you call it? A losing situation for you. Like, you will have more to lose than the game. Let's say that.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's very hard to put your confidence in a studio that is just now starting to map out its future for its projects.
Yeah.
So it's like trying to start. It's like working for a new business that just got open.
Yep. And they
You
got
you
no
know
plan,
your paychecks ain't gonna be that good starting out.
right? Mhm.
You don't know how many hours you're gonna get.
Yep.
You're not sure how your bosses are. You on shaky ground, man.
Yep.
So I feel like they really, really are going to have to call in a lot of favor. At least James Gunn is. James Gunn and Peter Safron are going to have to call in a lot of favors to get people back on track with them.
Well, I would say that's true, one, and also their very presence can attract people, I feel like, if they're the beacon of hope, they will draw in people. Like, you know what? I'm going to put my faith in you, James Gunn, or in Peter. Like, I feel like we can work with something
I
because
feel like I feel like people. I feel like people. I feel like a lot of people are going to start jumping ship to Marvel.
no, bro, I swear, if in the next 5 to 6 years, we're gonna see Henry Cavill being a superhero in Marvel, bro. It's
I,
gonna be crazy.
listen, man. Listen, man. There was even some talks that James Gunn is a spy from Marvel.
I heard that too. There's like, yo,
And then,
he's gonna steal all the talent. Like, yo, come over here.
dude, like I just
I was on Reddit. There was a whole conspiracy saying that like when Kevin Feige turned down DC and everything, it was
yes.
like it was because the real plan is to make DC so bad from within to the point where they sell it so cheap.
Right.
Like a profit off of that. And
Right.
then and
Disney's
then
going and now I said Disney was gonna buy DC at some point.
yeah, you did say that, yeah.
I said Disney was gonna buy DC because the way this is looking, this ain't gonna be a hard sell at all.
It's not. They'll be like, you know what? We'll give you maybe 2 billion, maybe, bro.
Yeah.
We'll see.
You said how much?
Master, we may give you $2 billion for it, which is low.
Damn.
We'll give you $2 billion, bro. To take it off your hands, because you look like you need help. We'll just take it off your hands for you, man.
Yeah, because they're gonna need a lot of restructuring after this, man. So anyway, that's what I wanted to say about the future of DC. So now let's get into the future of DC. DC's animation,
yes,
has taken a deep dive.
Yes, they're getting cut too. Apparently, I didn't think that the animation was going to be affected, but it seems like all Warner Brothers projects are being affected. So
yeah. Now let's talk about this last phase of DC animation.
What happened this last phase?
So
okay, go ahead.
Young Justice, for those of you who still watch that show, this show has gotten worse since the renewal of the show. Season 3 and 4 have gotten worse. 3 was a lot better than 4. This last season was horrible. I feel like, because there's a term going out now called Oscar baiting. Like people are trying to do such good performances so that they can get nominated for an Oscar.
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like this show is Emmy baiting.
Innovating?
Emmy, EMMY.
Emmys. Oh, okay.
It is baiting for an Emmy. So, because if you look at the show, these people are focusing so heavy on the drama and less about the superhero stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
Like there are whole episodes dedicated to Beast Boy's state of mind and depression and how grief affects him. And I'm like, we don't need this shit in Young Justice, dude. Let's get back to making it fun.
To be fair, if they're using a lot of the source material, I can understand why they're doing that. Because I remember reading like whole comics where nothing would be happening but drama. I remember not like just one, not a whole series, but like one issue, and I'd be like, damn, they really going through it. This is tough. And then the next issue they fighting. So I understand why they melded it in, but because
it's okay to have it in there. But when you got 3, I mean, literally, Garfield Beast Boy is benched the whole damn season. This ain't like 1 or 2 episodes. The entire season, he is getting worse and worse, progressively worse. He's becoming a shitty friend. He then broke up with his girlfriend. I mean, this is like, okay, we understand, but god damn, okay. How long are you going to keep playing this drama-filled cartoon show? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not adding depth to the character. It's just they're making him morbid.
Yeah, and he doesn't, and that's not
not what he is.
That's true, yeah.
So that was just one of the things. It was like, then you had an episode that was focusing on a character who has an autistic child.
Yeah, which is like,
it's like
that's not.
There's so much like just real world drama that takes precedence over the building of the characters and the lore that it just doesn't. You just really don't care about the drama. You want to get back to the cool fights and them overcoming a villain, because and then the team is so separated. There's like 3 episode arcs.
I was going to say, first of all, in my opinion, there is no more team.
There is no more team. They're correct.
They got these little the team, then the Teen Titans. There's no team. Y'all just a bunch of superheroes. A bunch of teenagers doing your thing. Some of y'all are in the Justice League actually, so I don't even know what y'all doing here. But
yeah, I mean, it's just it. Anyway, so there's no surprise. Young Justice has been canceled.
They had what, 6 seasons altogether?
Hell no, 4 seasons.
It was 4 seasons? Oh, and they split 1 in half. I forgot that.
Yeah, exactly. And they did the same thing before. They split part 1 and part 2. Yeah, but part 1 and part 2, they still are bad. Equally.
Yeah, and I agree with them cutting it because it was done. Like it had a cool run. Obviously, y'all don't know where y'all want to go with this. yeah, you know that you're not getting into, because what I thought was gonna happen is they was gonna get into a dark side like interaction. That's what it
Right.
looked like it was going
And
at
we
one
never
point.
fought Darkseid at
Yeah,
all.
at one point, but right after they beat Granny Goodness, all that disappeared. It was
Yep.
just like, oh,
And you don't see Darkseid until the end of the
yeah.
goddamn season.
Yeah, so it's just like at that point, like, what was this whole
What are
little
we doing here?
what was the little civil war, like undercover war that y'all was having? Like nothing came to fruition over it.
No, they abandoned it.
Yeah, besides I guess you saved some
They
medikits.
abandoned, and then you have whole episodes that have nothing to do with each other.
Yeah, they're just like
These are like
standalone. It's
side
like
quests that
standalone.
come together. They don't even come together.
Mhm.
So yeah, thank God, Young Justice is over with,
Yeah.
done, finito. Because like you said, they didn't know where the hell they were going,
Yeah.
and that is a very, very sad part about most DC shows. They have very, very horrible writers.
But you know the crazy part is, right? When you had season 1, 2, and 3, right? Technically, Young Justice had an end. We saw the end when they beat the Reach. That was supposed to be, in my opinion, that was the end of the show.
Right.
There was nothing that needs to be done, and like y'all could have had a gap and then do the whole nother different show, or with a couple of the characters and just do something separate.
Well,
But
Young Justice 3 was supposed to be Darkseid. Granny Goodness was not supposed to be the
wait,
fighter.
I thought that was season 4.
No, season 3 is Darkseid.
My bad. I'm making a mistake.
Season 3 is Granny Goodness
Yeah. So
and Darkseid.
season 1 and 2, right? When they finally beat the Reach, and then some people got promoted and everything. In my opinion, that should have been the end of Young Justice, and they should have had a whole new crew, which they tried to do, but a whole new crew. Forget everything else, like, but they just make a whole different show. Make a whole different show, because obviously y'all was pushing new people in and trying to still have the old people in, and it just got mixy and messy. I love Nightwing to death. I love him, but he's on too many teams. Like just have
Yeah.
him chill out. You made Aqualad Aquaman, and now he's in the Justice League. So
Right.
he doesn't need to. You never saw Aquaman come to help Young Justice in season 1 and 2. Like that man was nowhere to be found.
Right. So
So
yes.
I feel like it got way too convoluted because, like, again, which was not a bad thing, but there's a lot of teenage superheroes. There's a lot of teenage kids, and that's a big market. I feel like there's probably more teenage superheroes than there are like in DC compared to like grown-ups. I think there's just so many.
I feel like this could have been. I still don't think Young Justice is on the level of Teen Titans.
No, no. And it's funny though because Teen Titans ended where it should have. Once they beat
Monsieur Mala and
Marshmallow,
the
and they had
Brain.
the big showdown and all the heroes. I was like, oh, this is a climax. This is it.
Yeah, the
This is it.
Brain.
And even though we was all sad that it ended, it was a good end to a story. Like we saw, like we could close the book and say, yeah, I like that. That was cool. Now we can't do that for Young Justice because we're left with what the hell was that last season?
Yeah.
The last 2 seasons, what the hell was going on?
Yeah.
That season 3 happened, and was like, okay, we beat Granny Goodness, but she's only like a general. We got to get to the real meat and potatoes, and then we just don't care about it in the next part. I'm like, so that meant nothing to us. Like we just.
Yeah, man. I mean, it just. So, what was I about to say?
So that's been cut. Yeah.
Yeah, that's been cut. Thank goodness. And then, okay, so let's talk about the DC animated films. These last couple of movies.
Are we starting from the ones that came out?
Starting from Man of Tomorrow, Superman, Man of Tomorrow.
Okay.
The one with Lobo and Parasite.
Okay.
How do you think that animation style works?
You talking about just like how it looks like?
Yeah. How do you like it? Do you not like it?
It reminds me of something else I've seen, like
Archer.
Yeah, that's what it reminds me of. And I've never actually seen that type of artwork for superheroes, unless we're talking about maybe like Batman Brave and the Bold. Maybe there's like
Exactly.
yeah,
That is the exact art style of Brave and the Bold.
yeah. So I wouldn't say that I did not like it. It was just different. I was like, oh, okay. I wasn't expecting this, but cool.
Now, I didn't like Superman Man of Tomorrow.
No, I like plot wise and actual story wise, I didn't. I was like, what?
No, I didn't like it. I didn't think that was a good way to start Superman's origin story.
Mhm.
It just was, especially when Parasite became a goddamn kaiju. I just said, "What the hell are we doing, guys? Come on now."
I was just like, so this is how
This is how DC dies. One bad animated film at a time.
one at a time. And it's funny too because that what came out right after that? Right before that. It was the Apocalypse War, right?
Right.
So
Now,
we had
after Apocalypse War, Flash went back in time and started a chain of events.
and we got rebooted.
We got rebooted. And then, okay, so we have in this new phase of DC animated films, we had Superman Man of Tomorrow. We have Flash, Justice Society. How do you think about that one?
Did I see Flash Justice? Oh yes, yes. Oh, it reminded me of Justice
Wonder
League.
Woman 1.
Well, yeah, there we go. But it gave me feelings like maybe because it's the same era, but like I remember like what was that? Oh, Justice League Frontier, something like that.
Oh Lord, I hated that movie.
I hated that movie so much. I was like, that was
Jesus
the biggest.
Christ. What
That
type
was,
of villains were
yo,
they even thinking of?
I was like, first of all, that was the biggest American propaganda cartoon I've ever seen. Like, I was just
Yeah.
like, oh my god, y'all
It
just
was
dragged
a tribute to that age of comic book telling.
it. Was. Yeah, the Silver
But
Age,
at the
right?
same time, I said, yeah, I see why y'all had to update that shit because
I thought it was a waste of time. What's to say?
yeah.
I thought that movie was a waste of time. The Flash. I just was like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Man.
like it's forgettable. Like it's gonna be a footnote if this universe like still exists. I'd be like, oh yeah, at that time, da 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 did that. But
So yeah, I didn't like. So we got one down, Man of Steel. Now, how did you like Batman: The Long Halloween?
okay, I can't lie. I did like the first one.
I like the first one too.
The first one was pretty fly.
What about the second one?
So the second one wasn't bad. It wasn't bad, right? And this is the problem sometimes with like part one and part twos. It was just for some reason it couldn't hit home the goal of the film. Like the first one, everything was completed. You know, what happened first one? What was it? Trump? No, where did the first one end? Batman found out. What's that dude's name? He found out that Alberto was the one behind a lot of stuff, right? What's it? What's his name? What's the name of Alberto?
Falcone.
Yeah, Falcone. Yeah, so that was cool. The second one just kind of like seemed like it was continuing the story, but I personally feel like we could have had that all in one film. Just personally, like.
Yeah, because they tried to mix in the two comics that they took, that they mixed together was Long Halloween and Dark Victory.
Oh, okay.
Dark Victory is the sequel to Long Halloween.
Oh.
So they put both of those films together.
Okay.
And it was not, and
it wasn't like they separated the comic.
Yeah, the resulting product wasn't that good.
Okay, so that's why I was like, this
That's
cool.
why, yeah, because Two-Face is not in Long Halloween.
No.
So Dark Victory, you see Two-Face come because the person that was behind it all, they made it Harvey Dent's wife. That wasn't the case in the comics.
Okay.
And it kind of rings hollow when you think about it, because it's like, so you mean to tell me this woman with no training, she kills all these people? You know what I'm saying? And I don't have a problem with you changing things from the comments, because who wants to see the same thing over?
But it has to make sense though.
And that's the same thing it was with what movie was that? With the Joker, when Batman slept with Batgirl.
Bruh.
Now I'm drawing a blank. What was the name of that movie?
The Killing? Not The Killing.
The Killing Joke.
The Joke, yeah. Bruh.
So when you get to the end of The Killing Joke, there's no emotional gravitas. They just stop fighting.
Yeah. They literally, that's like, so we just forget what we're here for? Like,
it's just, it just rings hollow.
Yeah.
So you're like, okay. You got these, and then they had to extend the law. They had to extend The Killing Joke to give us more Batgirl so that you feel sorry for her when this situation happens.
And it was crazy too, because when I was watching The Killing Joke, I was just like, I felt like everyone in the show forgot what they were fighting for. I was like, yo, this whole thing's all about what happened to Batgirl. That's all. This is all y'all should be fighting for. But it felt like that got thrown to the side in the eternal war between the Joker and Batman. Like, I was just like, all right.
So anyway, like, what was I about to say? All right, so we got 2 down.
Yes, so we did.
Justice Society was meh. The Man of Tomorrow, meh. Batman, I'll give it a 7 out of 10 overall. Part 1 and 2 combined.
Okay.
7 out of 10. Because I did like a lot of stuff in it, more than I disliked it. Now, let's see. Now we got a god dog on. What was the name of this movie?
Is it the Green Lantern one?
Oh, yes, I forgot. That was the last movie we had. The last movie we had was the goddamn Green Lantern. What was it called? Beware My Power.
So let me tell you how excited I was
about that.
So let me tell you why I was super excited to see that movie. I was like, oh, we getting a Jon Stewart movie? I was just like, let's go. Let's go. Cause we've been stuck on Hal for years. Shoot, we can't even get to what's that? The Kyle Rayner, the other one, right? Like we just stuck on Hal forever. But anyway, so I didn't see any trailer for it. Like I didn't want to. I was like, I don't need to see a trailer for it. I'll just watch it when it comes out. So I'm watching it, and I was like, obviously it shows how brilliant Jon Stewart is. This man like pretty much taught himself how to be a Green Lantern from an instruction manual. Which is wild. He was just like, okay, that's how you do that. Okay, cool.
Got you.
Nice. I'm just gonna come right out. I don't like whatever the hell they did to Hal was crazy. Like, what was they thinking, bro?
Yeah.
What was they what the thing that they did to Hal Jordan was the most wildest. My man, he went full super villain, and the crazy thing is, there was like they tried
to
became
a Super Saiyan,
right? Exactly. And it was funny too because they like in it. I wonder if they wrote that in on purpose, but there was just like, oh, it must be the Parallax Demon doing it. Nah, bro, Parallax Demon had nothing like this. Like, nah, it's all me, bro. I was like, what? I was like, how? If I was like, yo, how? What are you on, my body?
Dude. Way to shuffle in or switch out a character. Instead of passing the torch, let's have them exterminate the torch that passed it to him.
Not only exterminate, but go full blown. I'm destroying the universe. Like,
yeah,
he didn't just become a regular. Like, I like killing people now. He said, nah. I'm a god. I'm gonna restart the universe. Like, when did you want to make yourself a crisis event? Like, what's going on?
And when did Green Arrow and Vixen become the only Justice League members
that
they had left?
And I was just like, it was crazy too, because I was just like, they could have just sent Martian Manhunter with them. Like, I don't know why.
Yeah.
Green Arrow went off planet. When does Green Arrow ever go off planet for anything? Like.
Exactly.
It didn't make
exactly. That was my question too. I'm like, that's not a good tactical choice.
And to be honest, I feel like Martian Manhunter would be the best choice diplomacy wise politically wise and knowledge wise. Like he's
and
literally
power base.
and power based. Like he's a man of the universe. Green Arrow's a man of Star City. Like, come on.
Like, if your arrows depend solely on Earth's gravity, then you're pretty screwed, dude. Because the moment you get into a situation where you're on another planet with different gravity, or you're on another ship with a different gravity, you're fucked.
Yeah, that was gonna be heavy as hell. You're gonna be like, damn, this is tough. I will say what I did enjoy though. I did enjoy
Some of the fights.
the fights. I was like, okay, John could throw down.
Yeah.
John really could throw down. Like that military training, he just turned it on like
Yeah.
real quick. And also I saw that they wrote it in there, but I do like that he can like kind of like turn off the warning you're not allowed to kill thing. Like he can ignore it. I was like, oh,
Mm.
interesting. Because the ring is supposed to stop you from killing like anything.
Now
Yeah.
that I did not know. Is that a comic thing?
Yeah, well that was something that the Guardians put in because of Sinestro. So before Sinestro that
Ah,
didn't exist, but
I
after
see. I
he
see.
went off the rails, that's how that came into play.
I see.
But obviously John can ignore it if he wants to. I did enjoy Hawk Girl. She was very much like the Hawk Girl from the old cartoons. I really appreciate that. Like she gave me the same vibes how she was back in the Justice League cartoon back in
Right.
the day. So that was really
He's a
nice.
warrior. Nothing.
She's
Nothing
war.
else.
Yeah, she could fly. She has a hammer. Um, all in all, the movie fell flat with the plot. Nearly like the farther you got in, the
Yeah.
worse it got.
Yeah.
I was like,
The
okay.
plot was very forgettable. It needed to be streamlined more and more palatable for different audiences.
Yeah, and I feel like they could have did something really great with the two planets fighting each other. That was a really good point because the whole thing about being a Green Lantern is diplomacy, and I feel like
Hmm.
that's where it should have stuck instead of bringing Sinestro. I mean, he could have been a nice side villain, but bringing Sinestro in and then having Hal Jordan be Broly, like out of nowhere. So I would just it took away from all that would have made a good origin story for John Stewart. So I was just like, again, it could have been a 9, but it wound up being a 7. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll give it I.
You give it a 6?
Oh shit. Yeah, it can get a 7, man. 7 is long Halloween. I give it a
6.5.
6.8 just
Okay.
because I love the action so much, but
Yeah.
it can't get a 7.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
anyway, did you ever see Batman Soul of the Dragon? Because I was also part of this.
Yo, I thought that was a standalone, so I thought we were gonna talk about that,
Yeah,
bro.
it is. It is a standalone.
Yo,
It is
okay,
a
so
standalone.
I'm gonna tell you why this movie doesn't get a 10 for being a good movie, but I'm giving it a 10 off of the fact that it shows that there are better martial artists than Batman.
Dude.
Because when I'm telling you that entire movie, Batman was getting clapped. I was
Yeah.
like, what is going?
And it
Because I was,
wasn't Batman was rarely in the movie.
he wasn't. It was more the other three.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm like, y'all. And then did you see the way that movie ended?
bruh.
It ends with them in another universe having to fight
Trapped,
their way out.
trapped forever.
Yeah. Like
Exactly.
who the
So
hell?
I'm just like, I was like, this reminds me of like a very bad
A very bad 1970s kung fu movie.
1960 kung fu movie that somebody in America tried to make copy in the Chinese. Like
Yeah.
that's what it felt like. Of course,
And they were going for that, but there's a difference between trying to go for it and nailing it versus going for it and failing badly.
It was like it was like they're trying to fail on purpose.
Yeah. So yeah, that I'm glad that we won't be seeing no more of that shit.
Nah, and I think those are like standalones, right?
Let's talk about the greatest failure of all time, the Injustice movie. Dude, what the hell? You kill Flash in the first 10 minutes of the movie, and they never brought it back up. They don't bring this man back up at all in the movie.
You know how many times I've rewinded that scene? I've rewinded that scene so many times. And I was like, the only person that I know that got plot armor as big as the Joker is Batman. Because no way in hell, in any universe, in any timeline, will the Joker ever be able to catch the Flash off guard with anything that moves below the speed of light. So, and I literally was like, was your brain off that day, Flash? Like you just left it at home. You want to die today. You want to commit suicide. That's what you wanted to
They
do.
kill him in the movie and don't bring it back up.
Don't even
That's
talk about it.
they don't even speak of him at
They
all.
act like their best friend didn't even exist. And I'm just like, what? And like here we go back again. Look,
And not to mention that shitty ass animation style where they're just chiseled blocks.
everybody was like a
Yeah,
like a blockhead.
I'm like, why do y'all see? That's another thing about DC's animation. It'd be so
It's off
all
and
over
on.
the place. It's all over the place.
But what is the problem is like, yo, look, y'all had so much material. You had the comics, you had the video games, you had so much, and y'all was like,
Y'all
okay,
choose to do one.
yeah. I was like,
Y'all
you
choose to do one movie and make it an hour and like 20 minutes, if
exactly,
that. It may have been 13
yeah,
or 15 minutes.
and y'all had the nerve to just creative control and fail. Like, what was the purpose of killing the Flash? The only one that had to die, and y'all killed her anyway, was Lois Lane.
That was it.
No one else had to die.
You kill someone of note and don't bring it back up.
Exactly, of note. Like no one talks about it. No one like he's one of the main Justice League pillars, and you just gonna be
And
like,
he's a big part of Injustice.
He's a huge part of Injustice.
That's like killing Green Lantern. Like these are big characters.
Yeah.
In the Injustice verse, they have things that they do, and you just kill them and wrap the shit up in the last 5 minutes with a dumb fight with an Amazobot. And then they bring Superman back. They bring our universe's Justice. Yeah. And then Superman gets his ass whooped in 3 seconds.
Thoroughly.
From the Injustice Superman.
Thoroughly. Like, I'm talking about, I was just like, bro, do y'all like shitting on Superman? Like, what was the purpose? Because I was just like, yo, in the comics, in the game, it was not like that. Our Superman was going toe to toe. You acting like our Superman is really a like, excuse my language, a bitch. Like, but like, there was no reason for you to have him to neuter him like that. Like, I didn't get that point. You know what I mean?
So anyway, but I feel like there needs to be a new head of DC animation.
Oh, was there ever a head for DC?
I don't know. I would have to look it up. But quality control for DC animation is not where it needs to be.
Yeah,
it's not, because if you can allow the last couple of movies that have been meh at best to be,
And the funny thing about it is that
because it's the same producer. I know Sam Register is a big producer of them.
Yeah. But I was gonna say, like, and the sad part about it is like all these movies that came out recently are coming off of the helm of Apocalypse War. And I'm not saying Apocalypse War was perfect.
It was not.
It was not perfect, but boy, was that movie a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, God damn.
Well, and here's what I can tell you about the previous era of DC animation. The Batmans were all cold.
Yeah.
Batman versus Robin, Son of Batman.
Yep. We had the Court of Owls, I think. No, that was
Batman versus Robin. What was the movie? The last Batman that they had? Batman Bad Blood.
Batman Hush.
Those were good movies.
Yeah.
Even the Superman movies was good. Doomsday Superman.
Yep.
The Reign of Superman.
Yep. Superman Red Sun. That was a standalone, but I loved it.
Ooh, it was iffy for me.
You didn't like it? What part you didn't like?
Huh?
What part you didn't like?
Shit, I did. Listen, I love the Superman that got shit done. Like that's what I love about it. That was more of an injustice than anything.
You know, it was funny because, like, you know, I always talk about, like, for comic book purposes, like, everyone has to play their role. So, for instance, like, as soon as someone with all the power in the world, like,
I didn't like
decides,
Russian Batman though.
that was hilarious. He was first of all, why was he such an ass? Like, he was just a jerk. You know, who he reminded me of. He reminded me of DCEU's Batman when he was just mad at Superman for no reason in Batman versus Superman. Like, he was just like, I just want to kill him. Like,
it's like I understand.
I was like, bro, what's wrong with you?
And that was another problem with Batman versus Superman. Like, there was no reason for them two to fight each other.
That's that literally, and that's what
he
I was
hated him for no reason.
And I was literally looking for that the entire movie because I say, like, when superheroes fight, if it's not mind control or nothing like that, they're always fighting over an ideal. So so I was like, but what are the ideals we're fighting over?
There's no
y'all
ideals.
Y'all both like protecting the planet.
He literally stops because he finds out his mom has the same name as his mom.
Right? If I was Wonder Woman, I would have cut that man's head off.
He was gonna kill this man until he found out they have the same name.
And I was just like, this is the pettiest Batman I've ever seen.
Yes, this is very petty.
Let's go with Oid.
Even Superman was petty though, because he shows up in Gotham for no fucking reason.
Right, and says like, "You're done."
Like, nigga, what?
He came up, the car hit him. He was like, "You're done. Pack it up. If I see you out here in this suit, it's clipped for you. I'm gonna let you know that right now." And I was just like, Superman, why are you saying that? Why do you care? Like,
the only thing he told that dude was, "Can you bleed?"
I was like, it was good because I was just like, why do either of these people care? And it was so funny too because I thought Wonder Woman was gonna pop up before Doomsday and be like, what the hell y'all doing? Like, like what's going on?
Even Wonder Woman, she had no reason to be there.
No reason. She just randomly was at the party doing God knows what.
And randomly saw this fight on television and decides I'm gonna come out of retirement.
I'm gonna go and show out. Matter of fact, where's she placed at in that universe? What city is she in?
I think she's in either London or Paris.
So she flew all the way across the world to go to this random fight in the city. Where was you when General Zod was going crazy?
And jumped out of a moving plane and endangered passengers.
Right? The oxygen pressure's coming out.
People didn't give a shit about other people.
Babies is crying. That was real Homelander of you, sis. Like, I'll let you know that.
So let's go into the future of DC animation. So we got Legion of Superheroes with our current Batman from Long Halloween and Superman from Man of Tomorrow.
Okay.
We're gonna have Supergirl, Brainiac 5, Timberwolf, Mon-El, who's I'm assuming is a Kryptonian in the future.
Oh yeah. Oh, so this is the Justice League from like century third. The
31st century.
Should be interesting. Okay.
Cosmic Boy. You're gonna have, and then you're gonna have some people from our timeline: Solomon Grundy, Brainiac 2. Then you got some other people. I think these are the Legion of superhero villains: Shadow Lass, Allura, Triplicate Girl.
Okay.
This is a part of the Tomorrowverse. They call this version of the animated universe the Tomorrowverse.
Okay, cool.
Now we have Batman: The Doom That Came to Gotham. This is a Batman movie set in the 1920s.
Okay.
It's gonna have Ra's al Ghul, Talia al Ghul. It's gonna have Jason Blood, Etrigan the Demon. It's gonna have Kurt Langstrom. It's gonna have Kurt Langstrom, so you know Man-Bat.
Okay.
It's gonna have the Penguin, Oswald Cobblepot.
Okay.
Thomas Wayne is gonna make an appearance. You got Harvey Dent. We got Dick Grayson.
Okay.
So I don't know how this is gonna come together, but this is another Elseworlds title.
Well, hope is better than like the other Elseworld Batmans because I didn't like Gaslight and I didn't like that Japanese one.
Yeah, I didn't like Gaslight that much, but it was a decent movie. Just cool. Not my favorite Elseworld. And then you said you didn't like the Batman Ninja.
No, I was
Yeah.
like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, I didn't like it either. I didn't like the animation style was okay, I guess, but it
Yeah,
didn't hit. None of the action hit for me. I
no,
didn't like it.
yeah.
None of the action hit for me. So then we got Justice League War World.
Okay, I like that.
Now that might be good. And
Hey, I'm
then
always down for isn't it Mongol or Mogul?
Mongol, yeah.
I'm always down for a Mongol fight. You know what I mean?
And
He's one of the like I feel like the more underappreciated Superman villains.
oh yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
love Mongol.
Mhm.
All right, then we got a milestone media film animated project. So this is our black superhero DC heroes. We got Static Shock. We're gonna have Hardware, Icon, and Rocket.
Okay, cool. I'm not gonna talk about Icon, not today.
The black alien is strong as Superman, but became a slave
Only
and couldn't stop slavery.
bro. If I didn't know any better about like who made Icon, and what's this? I didn't know nothing. I was like, "There's no way a black person made this character. This is a white made character, but
Yes,
it's not." And he a Republic. I was like, "Bro, you
yeah.
just
There's a lot. There's a lot. There's a reason why no one's made Icon toys.
yeah." And no one talks about him either. It's like, "Yo, we love." No one loves
Nobody
Icon.
says that shit.
All right, he's like, you probably keeping all the boom babies in their cities. Like, you ain't going nowhere. All right, you gonna stay in the ghetto.
Yeah, when I saw his history, I said, "Who the fuck made some shit like this?"
It's the worst thing I've ever seen.
This is the worst origin story. I feel like they need to revamp his origin story.
Yes, that's exactly what, and they should.
Please revamp his origin story because, yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah, it's horrible. Like,
It needs to be.
I low-key want to know what was going through their heads when it was making them. Like, you made someone as strong as Superman, and this is his backstory.
His backstory was that he was a slave.
A slave, and he didn't escape slavery or nothing. And he stayed a slave with all those powers, and then he just like became a lawyer and did nothing like that.
Black Adam said, I died a slave and was reborn a god."
Bruh.
So his story is, I came as a slave and became a lawyer.
And became a lawyer. I was like, yo.
No, first it was, I was an alien. Then I was a slave.
Like,
I had the power to break free from my chains, but I chose to stay a slave.
Because I need to understand what was happening to me.
I needed to better understand Earthlings.
I don't get how any black superhero in the DC can look up to that man. Because I'll be like, dope.
First of all, he would not be in the Justice League.
Oh, he wouldn't. He wouldn't make it.
That is like the opposite of a resume.
Right?
if I'm Green Lantern, if I'm John Stewart, and I see that your ass was strong enough,
I'll be like 2 thumbs down. He's like,
send this job ass alien back to where the hell he came from.
Matter of fact, he's banned from Earth. He gotta go. You
deport your ass back to wherever the hell you came from.
Like Superman would be like, I don't mean to talk out of term here, but so you stayed a slave. That's what you're telling me. I just want to get that straight before we move on. I don't want to like gloss.
You're right. Like, look, I know this is a very serious hour, but as a Kryptonian, if I was here and during those times,
there would be no slavery, sir.
Right.
It would be done.
And I'm not even aesthetically black like you are.
Exactly.
Can you imagine, like, all the slaves knowing that you have the power to free them, and you
just even worse too, because John Stewart's like, yo, and also I see on this thing is not only did you stay a slave, but you chose to look like a black person.
Right, he chose to be a black person.
To look like a black person and did nothing. Like, what?
Yeah, I couldn't believe that origin story.
I was like, so actually, sir, you're black facing right now, and that's right.
You black facing and you betraying the race. Just bullshit, dude.
I was like, you're a villain. You're a villain. You're a whole villain, man.
It's
Man.
yeah. That origin story has to change, man.
That's why Static Shock is the face of Black DC superheroes. Because no.
Yeah, not this coon ass dude.
Oh man. And
Talking
it's
about he
funny too, because
protects Dakota City.
right. And it's funny
Uh,
too, because like his sidekick is Rocket, and like they be clashing about ideals, and I was like, yeah, because Rocket is like, what the hell are you on, bro? Like, what do you mean? Talking
yeah,
about
I think I like that they changed Icon. Or remember when in Young Justice, Icon was just a regular dude that had powers or some shit like that.
yeah, he was a part of the Justice League, but he wasn't like he didn't really do nothing. Like he was just like one of the guys. He was one of the guys that went to that planet when he was mind controlled and he went crazy.
Right.
And he was a lawyer though. Remember, he was representing them in front of the Galactic Council when it was like trying to get rid of their crimes or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Yeah.
all that backstory is gone for him. I'm glad they didn't bring that in there.
They need to reboot that. So anyway, that is the future so far for DC films. Looking a little bleak on the live action side. I am looking forward to Flash. I am looking forward to Aquaman 2. I cannot say I'm so far looking forward to Blue Beetle or Shazam 2. I'm not, guys. I'm not. I don't know how these movies are going to turn out, but I'm not looking forward to them.
Yeah. But
Batman, I'm looking forward to that.
Oh yeah, true. But in the words of the old Superman, before he left, you gotta have hope. That's what matters, right? That's
yes, there's always hope. Everything that Superman stands for.
Yep, still here,
All right, guys, we're going to end our discussion here. You guys want to support my channel, help it grow. I need 1,000 subscribers, guys, to get monetized so that I can bring you better content, bring you some interviews, some reviews that will get better and better with your support. At the very least, guys, you guys can subscribe. My Patreon is also on my page. If you would like to be a subscriber and a Patreon as well, we have different tiers for those subscriptions and memberships. With all that being said, you guys take care, live long and prosper. We'll see you on the next Pop and Chop podcast.
All right.
Peace.